Hi, how are you? Hope you have been well. So, my dear friends, today we delve into the complex realm of free will and free choice, the fascinating dynamics that govern our decisions. Imagine the scene. An auctioneer stands before a captivating painting and commences the bidding. Suddenly, a hand is raised, your hand, a seemingly simple action that carries within it layers of complexity. Let's embark on a journey through three distinctive scenarios, each poised to challenge our understanding of free will and the concept of choice. In the first instance, a curious twist of fate occurs. You find yourself with an unexpectedly raised hand triggered by an involuntary spasm. You had no intention to bid, but your body betrayed you. Can we truly say that this action was a result of your free will? Now, consider the second scenario, where the value of the painting remains inconsequential, a menacing presence, a gun pressed against your temple, coerces you to participate in the auction. Faced with a dire ultimatum, you raise your hand, not out of desire for the painting, but to safeguard your existence. Is this a choice born of free will, or is it an act dictated by external forces beyond your control? The final narrative introduces a scenario of personal desire. Your heart yearns for the painting before you, and your hand rises willing to secure it. This action appears to align most seamlessly with the notion of free will, a conscious decision guided by your internal desires and aspirations. Will is the foundation of decision making. But true free choices can only be born out of an autonomous free will, right? However, as we navigate this discussion, it's essential to recognize the distinction between defining something and asserting its existence. Just as we can ponder the nature of mythical creatures like witches without necessarily accepting their existence, so too we can contemplate the nature of free will without definitely affirming its presence in our lives. So the questions of what free will is and whether actually we have free will are distinct, two different things. The threads of free will and free choice intertwine, unleashing complexities that challenge our understanding of agency, intention, and external influences. In this video, we'll discuss the major positions on these issues. The first is determinism. Imagine this. Right from the get-go, when the universe burst into existence with the Big Bang, it was like the universe had a script. And guess what? The script said that you would be watching this video. The rules of the game were laid out. You were destined to hear these words because the laws of physics and how things started off just made it so. So the whole shebang, this is called physical determinism. It's like fate, but with a scientific twist. So, physical determinism is one flavor of determinism, which basically means everything that happens is locked in by what happened before. Like a domino effect, current and future events have to play out exactly how they do. No room for surprise. It's all preordained. Now hold on, we are not done with the determinism menu yet. There's another dish called theological determinism. Picture this. There's a God up there who knows everything that's going to go down in the future. And it's like that knowledge sets things in stone. And then there's this thing called fatalism, which is a bit like determinism's cousin. It's all about the idea that what is true now about the future kind of locks that future in. It's a bit like predicting the weather. If the weather report says rain, it's like you can't escape getting wet. Now, here is where the twist comes in. Imagine if the universe wasn't like a tightly scripted play, but more like a jam session with some surprises. This is indeterminism. It's like saying not everything is set in stone. There's a dash of randomness and chances thrown into the mix. That'll make Nassim Nicola Talib happy, sure. And hold up, indeterminism doesn't mean chaos all round. It's totally cool with something's being determined. It just says that not everything dances to a preset tune. Now, when it comes to whether we have got any say in the matter, there are two camps. In one corner, we have got the compatibilists. They say you can have free choice even if the universe's rules are calling the shot. In the other corner, you have got the incompatibilists. They are the skeptics who wonder if free choice can even exist if determinism is the DJ. Oh, and don't forget about indeterminism, which throws another twist into the mix. Some free will theories might groove with it, while others might not. Let's dive into both of these options, starting with the incompatibilist. Libertarianism. Libertarians are a group who have taken a bold stance asserting that the concept of free will and determinism just can't coexist harmoniously. To really grasp their viewpoint, let's dive into the motivation behind it, starting with the idea of incompatibilism. Two key incompatibilist theories of free will take center stage. First up, we have theory A. According to this theory, free choice means you had the power to pick something other than what you did. In other words, you weren't boxed into one choice. You had genuine alternatives. Think of it like this. If you bid on a painting at an auction, theory A suggests that you had the capacity to refrain from bidding altogether. Next, we've got theory B. This one is all about the ultimate source of your choices. It's like saying that the decision you make originates from within you, not influenced solely by external factors. When you bid on that painting, theory B advances that your choice to bid came straight from your own self without strings attached. Now, how do these theories tie into that painting scenario that we have picked as an example? Well, let's take a closer look. Imagine you placed a bid on that painting. According to these theories, your bid could be considered an act of free will because you had the ability to not bid at all, or because you were the primary force behind that decision. But here is where it gets interesting. These theories are in fact direct opposition to determinism. If determinism holds true, it means that events predating our existence dictate our choices, leaving us without true agency as described by theory B. Additionally, if determinism is a reality, your past would essentially lock in your choices, making it impossible for us to opt for anything different than what we actually chose, as theory A proposes. However, the libertarians argue that despite these challenges, there are moments when we do exercise free will, often aligned with the principles of theory A or B. This, they assert, serves as evidence that determinism can't be the whole story. There are instances where we truly can choose differently and where our choices spring forth from our own volition. But hold on, because there is a twist in the plot. While libertarians claim that free choice needs a dose of indeterminism, they face a bit of a hurdle. Indeterminism, which introduces an element of chance and unpredictability, might not sit comfortably with the idea of free will. Remember that that muscle spasm example which I gave? It wasn't a conscious choice, and indeterminism might seem like it introduces a random element. A muscle spasm, raise your hand. Let's take a look at hard determinism and its dance with free will. It's like a logical tango where hard determinists join hands with libertarians in acknowledging that free will and determinism don't really groove together. However, they take a different turn when it comes to whether we truly possess free will or not. Hard determinists, nodding along with libertarians, agree that genuine free will can't coexist with determinism. They go on to claim that we, in fact, lack that free will altogether. Their reasoning is simple. Our world, as they see it, is locked into a deterministic dance. This means nobody can stray from the path dictated by past events, and no one holds the reins as the ultimate source of their action. It's like we are just actors on a stage performing scripts written by the universe. While hard determinism doesn't have a legion of defenders, there's a looming concern. Imagine a world where we are held accountable for our actions only if they stem from our free will. With that lens, hard determinists face a challenge. If we lack free will, what justification is there for practices like punishment, reward, blame, and praise? It's like trying to judge morality when the core of free will is missing. Well, let's take a step back. While we've been navigating the compatibility of free will with determinism and its opposite, indeterminism, there's another layer to this discourse. The question of whether moral responsibility and free will align with determinism or not are distinct yet deeply intertwined. Some say moral responsibility hinges on free will, but others contend that you can have one without the other. Now let's explore a couple of theories about free choice that fall under the compatibilist umbrella. Let's say theory C suggests that a person makes a free choice when her actions align with her own desires and values. On the other hand, theory D proposes that a person's choice is free when the origin of that choice responds to reasons. In the context of a scenario, let's go back to backdrop 3. You remember, for where you raised your hand, where your action was considered free according to these theories. You acted in accordance with your own desires or reasons, making it a freely made choice. However, in scenario 2, where you bid due to coercion the gun on your head, the judgment might then lean toward it not being a free choice. After all, you were compelled by external forces and someone else's desires, not your own. Yet, we could argue that you freely chose to avoid getting shot, right? So, it aligned with your own preference. Interestingly, these judgments can coexist with the idea of determinism. If determinism holds true, it means that your will, values, and desires are predetermined. However, you can still act in line with what you want and based on your reason, all while being determined to make those choices. The theories C and D thus propose a middle ground, suggesting that actions can be both free and determined. This would be reassuring if your world turned out to be deterministic, as our freedom wouldn't hang on the falsehood of determinism. Now there is a puzzle we need to tackle. Imagine a situation where someone manipulates your desires in a subtle manner, guiding your choices based on reasons that align with the manipulator's goal. This scenario raises a question: are you acting freely? It seems questionable because the source of your actions isn't your own will, but the manipulator's influence. Moreover, due to the manipulation's effectiveness, you are unable to choose differently. Theories C and D, however, would suggest that you are choosing freely, which presents a challenge. Compatibilists need to address this issue by explaining how this kind of manipulation doesn't undermine the concept of freedom they propose. So let's sum it up. In the complicated realm of free will and determinism, we have journeyed through diverse perspectives, ranging from hard determinism to libertarianism, compatibilism, and the complexities of manipulating choices. It's a fabric woven with thought provoking models, each posing questions about the nature of human agency. While hard determinists and libertarians have wrestled over the compatibility of free will with determinism, compatibilists have strived to find harmony between the two. The challenges of manipulation and coercion have further illuminated the complexities of freedom. As we contemplate these complexities, we are reminded that this ongoing discourse is a dynamic exploration, enriching our understanding of the choice or choices that shape our life. Meanwhile, I invite you to think through your position on what free will is and whether we have free will. And while you do it, take care. Till the next time. Bye bye.